All right, let's take a few moments to arrive. So we'll just settle in. We'll feel our sit bones perhaps on the ground, feel the feet or the legs connected. Connecting. And our eyes can open or close, and we're just going to drop in, as it were, just feeling what's going on and taking that time, to really just arrive, to land all of the energy that might be circulating around the body is just invited to be as it is, but it can also seem to relax and seem to just subside in its, perhaps if it's erratic or if it's loud or busy or fast. Maybe some of that stuff can just sort of unwind and unravel. Maybe it can relax a bit and just drop in more and more. Sit bones evenly planted on the ground, and the spine is long but relaxed at the same time. If we need a cushion underneath the hips, this is always welcome. The face is invited to relax. Shoulders, neck, anywhere that we might be holding unnecessary tension, just inviting that to relax. All of it's invited to relax completely, effortlessly, seamlessly, just dissolving everything, dissolving in a sense until sensation and vibration is wide open. Nothing needed here. Wide open sensation and vibration is allowed to express itself in all of its fullness, and even thoughts that may be stepping in and taking a stance or a position is just this effortlessly expressing as all of that play. It's all the play, nothing to resist, nothing to push away, nothing to pull up, just effortless. Everything is effortlessly what's arising. No rush to go anywhere else either. So a breath or two, or even three, might be welcome here. We might feel the breath becoming more apparent, more palpable, perhaps, more felt. So as the breath is more felt, as it's more open, maybe it's felt more from the tummy. So if we want to rest the hands on the tummy, we can, or on the chest and the tummy, or if we prefer, they can just rest comfortably on the lap or the knees or somewhere else. But if we fancy it, we can just check in with the torso by resting one or both hands on the tummy and or the chest. And I'm just going to invite a gentle breathing into the abdominal region. Just imagine that we could feel it directly there. Very simple, organic, flowing breath into the abdomen as well as the chest. Any point we want to sigh or yawn, it's most welcome. Very relaxing for the nervous system, for the body at large. If we're holding our hands on our chest or and our belly, then we just want perhaps to make sure that the shoulders are easy here, no strain. And this is just a very easy going, checking in with the breathing pattern. If you can, we might just feel a bit more into the belly and the diaphragm. That's that dome-shaped muscle underneath the ribs. When we breathe a little bit more abdominally, it's as though the muscles around here are allowed to mobilize and the lungs are allowed to mobilize a bit more as well. So we can feel the breath more wholesome, more rhythmic, more nourishing even. Breath is fully the breath. We can feel the belly just gently expand and inflate out, a bit like a balloon. When we inhale, there's a gentle inflation of the belly. It gently moves into the hand if the hand is resting on the belly button. And as we exhale, there's a gentle retreat of the belly button back towards the spine. We're just going to allow that breath to move a little bit more from there, from that navel region. You just imagine that you could breathe into the navel. Okay, very nice. And then perhaps we can introduce wave breathing. So again, remember, everything here is optional and invitational. It's all wide open to be however it wants to be. These are just suggestions to help our respiratory system, the nervous system, for calming and nourishment. Everything is quite restorative. So wave breathing is when we rest one hand on the tummy and one hand on the chest. And then we imagine that we could fill that breath up from the base of the spine up to the neck. So it's like you're filling up a glass of water from the bottom all the way to the rim. So when we next take a breath in, we could imagine breathing from the belly up to the diaphragm, the ribs, the chest, and then perhaps even feeling it into the collarbones. And as we exhale, it's the same thing reversed. So we exhale, we could imagine breathing out from the collarbones, down the chest, rib cage, diaphragm, belly, navel. So it's a wave-like breath. So we're waving up as we breathe in, waving out as we breathe out. Very simple, no force at all, no pressure. Just very simple wave-like breaths, taking our time. So that wave gently moves up and down the torso like the tide of an ocean coming in and out of the beach front. Hmm. And just carry that wave-like breath on. And any thoughts that come up, any ideas, any whatever, is just what it is. Just it's also the vibrancy fluctuating is that. Nothing in the way, just the enjoyment of sitting and breathing. Okay, and on the next 5 or so breaths, perhaps we can just introduce a little blowing out through the mouth on the last 30 or so%. So if it feels nourishing for us, we do the same breath, but at the end of the next exhale, you could just imagine blowing out any little bits of stress or tension from the body. It's like blowing any little bits of tightness, any aches or pains. So you could just imagine just blowing it out like water turns to vapor. Hmm. Very nice. So the next thing I'm going to introduce to us is a little Qigong exercise. We can modify it in any way we want to. We can even change it up completely. It can be more playful and experimental and spontaneous. But it's called Buddha Holds Up the Earth, and it's for the lungs, it's for the respiratory system. So we're going to do the wave breath still as we do this. That's the invitation. And as we breathe in, the arms just gently rise up and we extend them up to the ceiling, towards the ceiling. The palms face the ceiling. And then we exhale and reverse that motion down. So it's the same thing as the wave breath, but this time we're expressing it with the arms as well. The hands can rest on the lap when we reach the end of the exhale before repeating the next cycle. In your pace, your breath here, however slow you want to breathe. Very smooth, soft movements. We don't have to stretch the arms up. It's really more of a flow than a stretch. It's like a Qigong exercise rather than a yoga pose. So we don't have to stretch the arms and the shoulders too much. We just extend them gently before reversing it back down. When we do this flow, the palms of the hands tend to face the lungs on the way down. You could just imagine that each and every flow is just soothing the whole respiratory system. Breathing into the belly and the chest on the way up. Breathing out from the chest all the way down to the belly on the way down. Your pace, your breath. If your eyes are closed, that's lovely. Just gives the body a chance to feel into what it's doing. It doesn't have to get this exactly right. It's just about what it feels like. Nice, easygoing flow. All right. Perhaps on the next one, we can leave our left hand up and bring our right hand down. So the next one, we just gently bring our arms and hands up. And then exhale, we can bring the right hand down and we can place it somewhere comfortable. Maybe on the, if we cross-legged, we can rest it on the ankle or the calf. Maybe in front or by the side. And we're just going to stretch into the left side of the abdomen and the chest. And then we switch. We exhale as we switch. And then inhale, extend. Palm of the right hand facing the ceiling. Imagine you're trying to place your palm on the ceiling. Exhale, switch. Inhale, extend. Opening up the side regions of the chest and the lungs here. Each inhale is really invited into the chest as we extend through the rib cage and the sides of the body. Ah. If ever you want to express the breath audibly, it's most welcome. It can be really soothing. Ah. All right, one more of these on both sides. And then let's do a twist. So as one hand comes down, we can do a little twist. Now, we can rest maybe the fingertips. We can maybe claw the fingers on the ground if you like. And this hand can kind of float over to one side. And then we're just going to kind of swim a little bit through the air by twisting from one side to the other. Every time we exhale, we can just enjoy that twist. Every inhale, we can come into center and then switch. Exhale, twist. Getting more and more mobility into the whole of the torso and the thoracic cavity and all of the areas around the lungs. So just getting some nice nourishing movement and breathing all around, really. It's lovely. Very nice. And then we can come back to center. Just maybe taking a moment to notice how the body feels. Feeling into the chest and the tummy, feeling the sit bones. We can always reposition our body if ever we want to or need to. Okay. Let's do another little flow. So make sure that the spine and the sit bones, everything is comfortably supported so that we don't feel like it's much of a strain to hold the body in its position. And we're just going to do this little rise up here. Palms float up, and then we're going to inhale, open the chest like we're parting the waves. And we inhale and open. Exhale, palms face up and come back towards each other. Inhale, open chest. Open the waves. Exhale, nice little flow back to center. And the chest here, you might notice what I'm doing. I'm kind of gently rocking forwards and backwards a little bit just to get some mobility into the hips, the pelvis, the tailbone, the whole of the chest and the shoulder blades as well. You can get as much or as little as the torso involved as you like. Inhale, open. Exhale, retreat. Shoulders as relaxed as can be. A bit like we're swimming through a vast ocean of chi. Mm. Inhale, exhale, and coming back down, palms facing up, feeling the energy in the palms and the fingertips. We're going to do bear swimming. So, this is a nice breathing routine that we seem to be going through. It's really, really nice and nourishing, wholesome as well. So, this is going to help us just to get a little bit more spiral movements into the spine and the shoulders. It's going to be like this. We're going to gently push the hands forwards. The elbows are kind of tucked in here, and we're sinking the chest down. Maybe even the chin drops to the chest. And then as we open up, the palms face out and we spiral the hands. You can see an open chest here. Spiral them around. Exhale, sink. Inhale, open. Ah, like a bear swimming. Inhale as the hands open wide. Exhale as they retreat and come back around. Chest sinks and then opens. Hmm. Nice little spiraling movement. Just getting all of that energy circulating around the body really nicely. Hmm. Hmm. And then that movement might just sort of slow itself down a bit and it might become a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit smaller. And then we can rest once again, just momentarily. Hands open or facing down on the lap. Maybe here it might feel quite nice to do the wave. Nice wave-like motion through the spine. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Extend through all of the vertebrae, through the abdominals, the pectoralis major and minor on the front side, shoulder blades and trapezius on the back side, erectors too on the back side, either side of the spinal cord. Very nice. Okay. And just maybe isolating that a little bit more into the joints, the individual joints. Very small, subtle movements here until eventually we find ourselves back in a position of relative stillness. Sensing the body, sensing the sit bones and the ground underneath the body. Okay, let's do another little flow. This time, just like the other one we did, soaring crane before, but this time our hands are facing out as we wave. We'll only do this a few times. Exhale, the hands face the chest. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, hands face the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Nice little flow here, just to allow a little bit more mobility into the lungs and the diaphragm. Arms and shoulders are assisting that movement, that lovely fluid mobility. And then we're going to just rest the hands facing the chest, but not touching the chest. So elbows can relax as much as we like, shoulders too. Ooh, and just get a little wiggle maybe. And just feeling the energy in the palms, any vibration there, tingling, pulsating, and it can just face the lungs. And then we're going to take all fingertips and thumbs, rest them underneath the collarbones, and we're going to come up gently. So the elbows are sort of close together. We come up and then out and down. So we're doing a lot of spiral movements today and a lot of different sort of exercises that can just really help with the lungs and the diaphragm and all of the muscles around. All of these are designed to just nourish the nervous system and boost the efficiency of the whole respiratory system. And that can aid us for emotional release, relaxation of the brain and the mind, the so-called mind, comfort and soothe and soften the body, and anything and everything in between. Inhale up, exhale down. Rooster spreads its feathers, this one's called. Would you believe it? Ah. Hmm. Okay, maybe we can reverse this motion the other way. So as our chest opens up, intuitively, we're probably already doing an inhale, exhaling as the chest sort of closes down and the back body opens. This, of course, is allowing for more smooth operating of the lungs with the oxygenated pranic flow. Ah, hmm. 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 Ah, okay. Uh, okay. So maybe we can move the body like a river because we have done a twist, we've done lateral, we've done a little bit of lateral, we've done forward and backwards, but we haven't quite moved in this plane yet. Maybe a little bit, but not much. And it's quite nice to do this as well, especially if we're sitting for a long period of time. So it's just maybe nice to get a little bit of fluidity in the sides of the body. Not necessarily needing to stretch too much, although we might want to. And yeah, a really lovely flow into the obliques, the rib cage, serratus anterior and the pecs, the deltoids and the levator scapulae, all of the muscles on the side of the neck, vertebrae, all of the discs in the whole spinal cord, nicely flowing like a river, side to side. The movement tends to begin from the base of the spine and weaves its way all the way up to the crown of the head. Mm. Ah, nice, nourishing exhales. Mm. Oh. Wow. Really facilitate a release here. Oh. Okay, we can slow it down. Slow it down. So perhaps we can do one more flow, one last flow before we lie down and do some breathing and relaxing together. I'm going to invite us to fly. We're going to fly like a bird. So as we inhale, the arms are going to rise up and we're going to have a really nice, easy, gentle flowing movement, just like that, exhaling down. So just an ever so gentle flexion and extension through the wrists, elbows, and the shoulders. And we could open the chest up more as we inhale, exhale, slight relaxation and release. Hmm. Flying like a bird, like an eagle. Inhale. This is a beautiful exercise for the nourishment of the lungs, the rib cage, the diaphragm, any surrounding muscles and internal organs. Arms are invited to be like water here, just really easy. And then inhale, open the arms up, wide, big circle, exhale down the midline. We finish this whole sequence with pulling down the hands. A big, beautiful inhale as the arms circle up. Exhale, imagine you could just wash away any tension from the body on the way down. Inhales, exhales. Nice, nourishing, finishing movements and flows. And then we're going to lie on our back. And whenever we're ready, bringing that final flow down the body. Hands can rest over the chest or the tummy, just like we started. Feeling the breath in the belly, feeling the changes that might have occurred since starting, since showing up at the beginning. And then whenever we're ready, we can just adopt a lying down position. If we're comfortable to lay on our back, I recommend it. And we can close our eyes down and get into that lovely, comfy Savasana. All right, so just get in that comfy position. And I'm going to invite us to, if you're comfortable with it, I'm going to invite us to rest one hand, at least one hand on the belly. You can rest one hand on the belly and the chest, one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest if that's allowed. and okay. And yeah, we're just going to feel the diaphragm. And this, it's in a way, it can be easier to sense the whole smooth operation of the respiratory system whilst we're doing this lying down. So this is a nice opportunity to really feel the breath more deeply, feel the mobility of the belly, the diaphragm, and the lungs in the chest. You can just feel that whole effortless flow right there. You can feel the belly gently rising and gently falling. The hand is just soothing that whole motion. Nice, easy current of breath. Okay, and I'm just going to guide us through a very, very gentle bit of coherent breathing, and you can follow as closely as you like, but there's no obligation. If you would prefer to just relax and rest here completely without doing anything, this is totally welcome. But if you want to, we're going to do a little bit of coherent breathing together. Now, coherent breathing is very simple, very easy, and very effective at calming the nervous system and benefiting the respiratory system. It will also help with anything like sleep problems or stress, tension, anxiety, etc. And so the invitation here is for us to synchronize our breaths together. So whenever you're ready, just join me on an inhale and sigh. Release, exhale out. Nice and easy. Next inhale, we're going to count to 4 with me. Breathing in gently, gently. 2, 3, 4. Gently exhale. 2, 3, 4. Gently in. 2, 3, 4. Gently out. 2, 3, 4. Gently inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Gently exhaling. 2, 3, 4. Slowly in. 2, 3, 4. Slowly out. 2, 3, 4. Slowly inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Slowly out. 2, 3, 4. And in. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. One last time in. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. And releasing this. And releasing this. So just laying here for one final moment, basking in all of the nourishing biochemicals, whatever may be released and nourished here, can just allow that to be absorbed and digested. Feeling the soothing qualities being infused in all of the cells and the muscles, the organs, everything around the body, bathing in that ease, natural homeostasis, which we have cultivated here today. And may it go on to nourish the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, and perhaps the rest of your week. Thank you for joining me on the Yochini No Show. I host these sessions each week. So I love to see you here again. Much love. Namaste.